the actual business since 1992. Previous to that I was a secretary, and I always wanted to work with dogs. Eventually I took the plunge and decided to go out on my own. I trained when I was about 23, so I'd already been grooming dogs for quite a long time, but it was a hobby for a long time, and then it all sort of snowballed from there really. The way I ended up going into training was I was offered a job as a teacher at a college, teaching YTS trainees at the time, and I really enjoyed the training side of it, so decided to branch out into offering our own private courses, and I really enjoy that side of it because the interaction with the trainees is so nice. You know, you get the satisfaction of seeing other people build up from not being able to do anything to being able to turn out a dog really nicely, which is just as much satisfaction as turning a dog out nicely yourself. To be honest, Kelly and I between us hold quite a lot of different various qualifications with dogs, not only with grooming. I mean, we've been to lots and lots of seminars and things, and we've got, you know, attendance certificates for things like that. I've done the Canine Human Interface, which is a dog behaviour type qualification, because I'm very interested in that side of things as well, and I feel that handling the dogs is just as important as being a good groomer. Kelly's also done, she's done a qualification in the Canine Touch, which is a holistic sort of approach to calming animals that are stressed, and she's very interested in healing in general and that sort of thing. She's done quite a few things like that. I've got my City and Guilds Level 3, which is the advanced qualification. We don't actually do that when they're here because you wouldn't be able to do it on a short-term course, but the qualification that we offer here is the City and Guilds Level 2, which is a much easier examination to achieve. It's a fairly new qualification. It was brought in last year. So most of the students that come here, if they want to achieve a qualification, they go for the Level 2, and then if they decide they want to move on to the Level 3, then that's something that they need to look at sort of further down the line in a couple of years' time maybe, and then they can come back and do an assessment week or a few days with us and see if they're ready to go on and take their Level 3. We award a certificate to say you've done a course, and that is given to any student however long they train. If they come for 1 day, if they come for 3 months, they will get a certificate which says you have done a training course. Students that do a little bit longer, preferably 20 days, we would give a graded certificate, and again we only give that certificate if we feel they have actually reached the standard where we would award that certificate, and that would be a pass, credit or distinction. Well, what we've started to introduce in the last sort of year or so was we've said to students that if they handle the dogs well, they do actually get given an extra certificate which is in good handling. So they actually get a certificate to put on their wall which says they've handled the dogs kindly and effectively throughout their training. It's very hands-on. Basically the first day when the students come in, there's quite a lot of discussion, there's a lot of showing the students what all the equipment's for. They become familiar with the parlour, they have reading to do on their first day, and then they usually do bathing and drying sort of in the afternoon, but they don't do that much actual physical grooming on the first day, but from the second day onwards they have their own dog to work on, and it's very, very hands-on, practical. The student is working on the dog. But in addition to that, there's also the Level 2 qualification workbook. Now this isn't our own workbook, this is actually the City and Guilds workbook, and this is what the students work through if they want to do this qualification, which isn't compulsory, but it's there if they want to do it, and it just basically gives them a nationally recognised qualification at the end of their training. And the way that qualification works is there are 7 practical assessments that we carry out in the parlour. The students have to complete this workbook themselves, which takes a little bit of research. It's quite simple. It's health and safety, handling, control, bathing, drying, that sort of thing. There's no trimming, absolutely no trimming at all in this qualification. And they've also got a diary, a daily diary to complete, and a self-assessment section as well. But this would be run alongside the training course. And then at the end of the training they would do an online multiple choice test. We've got the facilities for sort of up to 5 students, although we don't usually take more than 4 at the moment. And then we've got 3 tables for the tutors, so the tutors, if they're working on a dog, they can keep an eye on the students as they're working as well. We've got a combination of different dryers, stand dryers, blasters. We've also got the cabinet dryer for the dogs to dry in. We've got a nice quiet study area where the students can go and read all the books. We've got a growing sort of library of books and videos. We've had students go on, I mean, most of them go on and just run a dog grooming business. Some of them perhaps don't actually want to run a business, they just want to do it as a hobby. People can be quite flexible in the occupations that they decide to go into.
Well, I'm Jane and I'm a trainee here. I've been here about 5 days now. But I split it, I come 3 days a week, so I split it between my other job and training to be a dog groomer. I mean, they're always on hand, you know, if step by step, so you can't go too long because they're there to help you if needs be and advise. So yeah, it's been really good. I'm really enjoying it.
Well, I'm Julie and I work at Canine Design, and I've been working here a day a week for about 8 months. I trained here with Leslie the year before, and I did the training on a day a week basis, which is unusual. Normally you do blocks of training. She's an excellent teacher, she's very encouraging, very patient, and it's been a really good experience. It's a very positive thing to do.
Everybody recognises the Sitting Guild's qualification. Everybody knows that that is a set standard, so it's just nice for the general public to see that you've actually got a recognised qualification.